Hey, welcome back. Good to see you again. All right, so in this video, I'm going over building an opt-in workflow, also known as, say, a nurture sequence. Pretty much this workflow is really going to be one of the first ones that you would build out in your account. And this is going to be designed for when you have new leads coming into your system. It could be coming from a funnel, could be coming from a website, could be Facebook lead form, TikTok lead form, anything like that. Just a way that you can nurture your leads when they're coming in. What I'm going to cover in this video is I'm going to show you how I build out my workflows. Not all workflows, but the main one, the opt-in workflow. And I'm going to give you the reasoning behind each of the steps in the order on how I build them out. Of course, it can be all customizable. This is just the standard methods that I use to really get use out of the system. Now, first off, let me cover over here is this is going to be designed for a simple funnel. And this funnel will be, they come from an ad, they land on this funnel page, which is going to have whatever your offer is, and then asking for name, email, phone. Very simple form. This can also have a survey on it. It doesn't have to be a form, it could be a survey. And then after they fill that out, then they'll get redirected to the next page, which is, say, a calendar page, so they can book a call. And then once they book a call, they'll go then to the thank you page. So very simple funnel, 3 steps, that's it. Now let's head back here. And one of the first things that we're going to do is we're going to make sure we have a pipeline in there. Now let me show you quickly how I build this pipeline out. This is just a simple one, pretty straightforward. This will work. But the 2 stages we're focusing on today is the new lead stage, when a new lead comes in, and then the hot lead. So what the hot lead stage is, this is designed because when you're running ads, you have people seeing your funnel. You're going to have bots that are going to fill it out. You're going to have people that are going to put in fake information just to see what's on the next screen. It happens all the time. It's the internet. I'm sure you do it. I do it. It just happens. So you're going to have people that are not real filling this out, and you're going to have bots. It happens. And so all leads are going to populate here. Now, as they're going through this nurture sequence, if they reply back, then we're going to set it up so it automatically moves over to the new lead stage. And that is then going to be designed so then you would come in here and you would focus on the hot lead stage first, whoever's in here, communicating with them. Because if they're here, that means they replied, which means most likely they're a real person. So focus on them first. They probably have a question, answer their questions, get them moving down the pipeline, and then go on and focus on the rest of the new leads. All right? So make sure you have a pipeline set up. Next, we're going to go into the automation. Now in the automation, the workflows here, this is how I structure my workflows. I like to organize it. Since these are laid out here in alphabetical order, I always put them in with numbers, 1, 2, 3, pretty much how they're going to step through the customer journey. It's going to start with an opt-in, then it's going to start with bookings, and then this is about the opportunities, and then whatever the other workflows folders I create here. So we hop into the opt-in folder. Now I have 2 in here. We're going to build out these 2 today. We're going to start with the new lead. Instead of just going in and showing you, I'm going to go and build it out. So let's create a new workflow and let's start from scratch. First thing we'll do is name it. I just named it something simple, new lead. Next, let me explain to you, if you're new here, what workflows are. Real basic. Workflows have two main steps. The first one is you have the trigger. The trigger is what adds them into the workflow. The second part is the actions, everything that happens once they're in the workflow. It usually starts with a trigger. Now, you don't have to have a trigger for all your workflows, but for this one we will. And that's something that we cover another time. Adding a new trigger, I'm just going to click here, and this trigger we're going to start with a form. So type in form submitted. Now what you want to do is you can just leave it on form submitted, but then that will trigger for any form that you have in your account that is submitted. So if you have multiple forms, you may not want to do this. You might want to add a filter in. I always add the filter in because you might have different forms for different uses, and you might have different messages to go out based on what form it is. So we're going to select the filter of form is, and then you're going to select whatever form. So in this case, there's just one here. If you have multiple forms that you want this to trigger for all of those, select all those forms. All right, so we'll just say this, and I always like to name my steps as well. So we'll say form submitted, and I'm going to put funnel form, which is the name of that form. I'm gonna click save trigger, and now we have that trigger. Let me just show you as well, you can have multiple triggers for workflows. In here, I'm gonna show you can also do a survey. Say you created a survey. Then you can do survey submitted. We're gonna add a filter. Same thing, I like to do survey is. And now in this case, this account I don't have any surveys built, but you would select the survey from here. So I'm gonna just trust that for now, and we'll just leave it as survey for anyone submitted. So now we have two triggers. Whatever one they fill out, they'll get added in here. Of course, if you don't have a survey live, it doesn't matter. It's not gonna they're not gonna enter. Only when they fill out the form of the survey. Now the other thing you can do is, let's do this. Facebook. So if you run Facebook lead ads, you can do Facebook lead ads. Now, to connect your Facebook to HighLevel and to set all this up, I do have a video and I will link that here so you can go and follow that one as well, how to connect your Facebook without using Zapier, Make, without using any of that, just a native connection with HighLevel and Facebook. All right, and then same thing in here, add filter, and then you can say inform, and then you can select whatever your Facebook form is you have there. In this case, I haven't connected Facebook to this account, so none shows up there. But just to show you, you can have all these triggers. Now you can also do, TikTok form submitted, you can do LinkedIn form submitted. So HighLevel has a lot of different connections here that you can do. All right, so once you have the trigger selected, they got added to the workflow. Now here's all the steps that I typically add on a nurture sequence, an opt-in workflow, whatever you want to call it, when they go through here. Usually one of the first things I always add is assign to user. And then you would select whatever user you want it to get assigned to. And this has a couple different reasons, because one, then you can tailor the messages to be signed off, such as an email respectfully, and it can come from that specific user. If you just assign users to multiple people, if you do this round robin, then that will allow your team focus on their assigned leads. There's some other benefits to assigning users as well, but those are kind of the main ones right now, is for reaching out or for signing off based on the messages, as well as then just having your team focus on the specific users. So I'm gonna save that action. Now the next thing I always add is a contact tag. Now this first couple of actions, the first three don't have to be any specific order. This is just the order that I'm gonna add them in. Here's add a tag. Now the tag I usually add is something like new lead. So then if you're doing just a form or just survey or just Facebook, maybe you want to say Facebook lead, survey lead, whatever. I'm just gonna do basic new lead for now. And then I always name my steps. So in this case, I'm gonna do new lead, put in little quotes to show that when I save it, I can see that's the tag that is added. Next, I create an opportunity. So we're gonna add another action. I'm gonna do opportunity, create or update opportunity. In this case, it's going to be creating because they're just coming in. So create opportunity. We're gonna select the pipeline, the offer pipeline or whatever pipeline you call it. And then the stage, we're gonna put them in the new lead stage. Now, nothing else you have to fill out here. By default, the name of the opportunity is going to be the name of the contact, and the source is going to be where it came from. So it would say funnel form, or it would say survey or Facebook, but you can put in a specific source or a specific name if you want. Lead value, I usually leave blank. I'll set that up later on when they move down the pipeline and they're actually more of a prospect that is going to have potential. Status, you don't have to select either. By default, it's going to go in as open. And then these you can just leave off as well. So that's how I set up the create opportunity. And you can even name it further and say new lead, and then we'll save action. So those are the first three things that I usually always add: assign a user, add a tag, and create opportunity. Add a tag, and that allows you for later on for filtering contacts out certain ways and just designating where they came from, what steps they're on, where they are in the customer journey. After that, I always like to notify, say, myself or notify whoever's the lead owner. In this case, we're going to search for notification, and then it's send internal notification. Now in here, there's three different types. You have your email notification, which is the push notification on your phone if you have the HighLevel app installed, and then SMS. I'm going to show you how to build all three of them out. Let's start with email. I change this to email notification. You can fill in a from name from email or just leave it blank. The user type, I will usually select assigned user. So this will only get sent to the person who it's assigned to based on this step. So that's why you always have to have the assigned user one of the first steps. And that's the other reason why I assign the user, because then I could select all users, but does everybody on the team need to get notified of every lead that comes in? Sure, if you're doing maybe a free-for-all and reach out to the leads on a free-for-all basis, or you can select particular user and then select a certain user, or you can even type in a custom email if you want to send it to one central location. Typically, I'll do assigned user. Now you type in a subject, something simple like new lead, And what I like doing is in the subject, put contact and then full name. So that you can see new lead and you can see who the contact is. And in the body of the email, again, I'll say you have a new lead. And simple, you have a new lead. And then I will put the contact's details here. So we'll go back to our custom values, custom fields, select contact, and I'm going to select full name. Full name. And then I'm going to do a new line, and then I will put also the email, and then we'll put the phone number. So then you'll have an email, and it'll say you have a new lead, name, email, phone. Now you can put more information here. You can say, make sure to contact them ASAP to get them scheduled to call with you, right? Whatever, you just type in whatever you want here, and then save action. So now you'll have an email notification of the new lead that comes in. Next, we're going to add another one. We're going to say notification, send internal notification. This time we're going to do SMS, and we're going to say again, we're going to send it to the assigned user. What I like to do here is new lead, and then I will put, again, we're going to do contact, full name. Now I like to do this little line, whatever it is above the return key, contact name, and then email, and then phone. So this way I get a text, oh, I have a new lead, here's their name, here's their email, here's their phone. And we'll save action. And let's add in the next notification. The next one is going to be notification, which is the push notification on your phone, the HighLevel app. So here we can do push notification. And then the title. So what's the main thing? We can say, in this case, because it's a short little title that you get, I'll do contact, full name, and then I might do new lead, exclamation point. Yay. Now in the message, which is going to be just right below that part, contact, we can do full name again, but we're already having the top there. So I'm going to say email, put my little line, and we're going to do phone. Now also, if you've asked other questions on the survey, you can add those in as well. So, or other questions in the form as well. You can just come over here. So probably better in the email as opposed to an SMS or the push notification. But if you come into contact, down the custom fields, this is going to be any custom field that you created, aka any questions that you created to put on the form or the survey. So we have that. Now down here for the notification, you have to select this part, the redirect page. This is when you tap on that notification on your phone, where does it take you into the app? Usually probably want to take you to, could be the contact, conversation, or opportunity, probably conversation, so you can quickly reply to them. And then who should the notification go to? All users, particular users, user assigned to contact. We're going to do, again, assign to contact. And save action. So now we have these three in here. You don't have to have all three. Of course, just add whatever ones you want. I usually like just doing the push notification. The reason for that is because it's free. You're not going to get charged for SMS. SMS, you're going to get charged every time it sends out, right? And then email notification, does everybody always check their emails all the time? With all the other emails coming in, probably not. So I always do the push notification, personally for myself. So this is the main thing that I always add, which is always going to start with assign a user, add a tag, create an opportunity. Next is I like to notify myself or whoever the assigned user is so we get notified. After that, now comes sending the messages out to the lead. So next I'm going to add in, we're going to search for, or I'll just show you this. If we come down to the green section, communication, that's where you have the send internal notification. But now here this time I'm going to send an SMS. We'll start with this and I'll name it, say SMS1. All right, so now I'm going to paste in here some text that I've sent out to the lead. Here's an example. Hi, Bob. This is, again, user first name. This is Aaron from ClickLaunch, company name. I see your information just came in. Be sure to check your email for more information and book a call with us. Great. You can even put in here the link to book a call or just direct them to the email. Either way. They are going to be landing on, as a reminder, they're landing on the calendar page. But it's always good to send out a text, an email right off the bat, just for confirmation that they know, okay, cool, my information was accepted. They'll most likely book a call, but here's just another reminder if they quickly clicked away. So save action. And now we're going to add, next thing is sending an email. I'm going to search email. We're going to send email. All right, for the subject, here's an example. Offer inside, and then I've created a custom value of offer title, so whatever I'm calling it, say 30 leads in 30 days, something like that, whatever it is. So then that will fill in the offer title there. And you can really put whatever you want in subject. It's just my example. Now in the message, here's another example. Hi, contact first name. Thanks for claiming your, again, this is where the offer title will go. Be sure to book a call with us using the following link. So then you'll want to put the calendar link in here. So not only are they landing on the calendar page, but they're also having the email so they can always come back to it and make sure they book a call. I also like to add in, you may also reply to this email or call or text us at, and then put in the phone number that you have in the account. That way, if people want to book on a calendar, maybe they just have questions first, they can send you a text or give you a call. Please let us know if you have any questions in the meantime. We look forward to meeting you. Best user first name from company name, and then signing off with the phone number. Of course, you can sign off however you want. That's just an example of an email that you can send out. Oh, didn't name it, so I'm going to come back in here and name it email initial. So now you have the initial text that went out and the initial email that went out. I'm going to save that just to make sure we don't lose the information. So after that, now that they've sent the text and the email, next thing that I want to do is set up a way so that you can call the contact. But I also want to set up in a way that, because they're going to land on the calendar page, and given them time, they most likely will book a call. But if they don't, this is where we want to follow up with them. What I mean by that is I'm going to add in here, I'm going to add a wait step. And we're going to say, what's a good time to allow them to book a call on the calendar? I'd say 5 minutes is a good amount of time. So I'm going to say wait 5 minutes, do 5 minutes, I'm going to save. Next, after the 5 minutes, I'm going to add in an if else. In this, what we're going to do, we're going to add the if else because I'm going to go down two different paths. Either it's going to be during working hours or it's going to be off working hours. So I'm going to name this condition working hours. Now this is going to be Monday through Friday. We'll just do, say, 9 to 5. Where we're going to do this is under the condition, we're going to select date time. And I'm going to first say current day of the week is, and we're going to select weekday. I'm going to add another condition, and we want the date time, the current hour is on or after, and we're going to say 9 a.m. We're going to add another condition, and the date time, current hour is on or before 5 p.m. All right, so this is if it's a work day and it's between 9 and 5. I'm going to save the action. Now we have two branches. It'll go down this path. What I'm going to add on these paths, next thing I add here is a call. Now this call here is called a bridge call. I'm going to title it bridge call. The way this works, first I'm going to put this message in here, the whisper message. You have a new lead. Their name is Bob Smith. Press any key to connect with them. So now let me explain the way this works and what the bridge call is. Let's save it first. I'll click back in here. So the way this bridge call works, when the contact gets to this step, what's going to happen is your phone's going to ring, you're going to answer it, and you're going to hear an automated message. And the message that you're going to hear is, you have a new lead, their name is Bob Smith, press any key to connect with them. Then you'll press any key. Once you press any key, then the system's going to dial out to the contact. And when they answer, the call's merged and you're talking to them. If they don't answer, or if you don't have time or you're busy, just don't press any key, just hang up the phone. Or don't answer the phone in the first place, and it will never call out to the contact. So it only calls them if you press any key on the phone. Pretty cool feature that helps with speed to lead, so you don't have to copy the number when you get the text, go to your phone app, paste it in, and then call. No, your phone just rings. Oh, cool. You have a new lead. Press the key, calls out, answer, and you're talking to them. All right, so we'll save action. And then after that, what I like to also add in, we're going to say voicemail. So this will be a voicemail drop. If the bridge call does not connect through, then it's going to go to the next action. So we'll leave a voicemail. That way you can just, if it goes to voicemail, you can just hang up and then the system will leave a voicemail. But you can also just leave voicemail yourself. Either way, this is a voicemail drop you can add in. Now, if I'm going to do upload a file. All right, so I just uploaded a simple file right now to be able to save it. So now we have a voicemail there. Now you may be asking about this none branch. I'm going to get back to it in a second. But after the bridge call happens, after the voicemail happens, they still haven't booked a call, they still haven't answered. Now we're going to go to the next step and we're going to wait again. This time we're going to wait. I'm going to say wait 1 day. And now this is really going to start with the nurturing part over however many days, weeks, months you want to nurture them. So wait 1 day. Let me go ahead and save this. And then say the next day, we're going to send out, say, an SMS. And then here's a basic SMS that I added in. Hey, contact first name. I see you still haven't booked a call. with me yet, be sure to follow this link to book a call, and then the link. Now let's go ahead and name this. Let's say SMS2. You can put in, say, parentheses, day, and I'm going to save that. Now, obviously, you want to put in probably a better message than that. This is just something simple I put in for now. But just to show you, wait one day. Now this is SMS. Oops, that should be SMS2. We'll save that because we have SMS1 is up here. SMS2, and then I put in day 2 because it's a day after. That way, as you're scrolling through here, you can easily see which day the message is on and also which message number. Now I'm going to come back up here. This is if it's during working hours. Now the none branch, which is the off working hours, we can even come in here and name the none branch. We can say off hours. So now it says off hours. And the reason I do this is, say somebody opts into your form, your funnel at 2 in the morning. Do you want your phone ringing at 2 in the morning? Probably not. I'm sleeping, you're probably going to be sleeping, you probably don't want that happening. So they're going to go down this branch. And what you can do here is, what we're going to do, you can add in, say, wait steps, but easiest thing to do is just go to. And now this is a cool feature. So let's go to, save action. And now where do you want them to go? We're going to skip the bridge call, we're going to skip the voicemail, and we're going to say, wait one day. So the way this works is come down here. Is it during working hours or not? If it's during working hours, the bridge call is going to happen, voicemail is going to happen, then it's going to wait one day. If it's off hours, then it's going to go to the go to, and it's going to skip these two and go right into the waiting the next day. Save that. And now what you would do next is you would then start building out a longer nurture sequence. So we have wait one day, send an SMS. Maybe you want to then wait another day and then send out a text. So what you can do is, simple way is click the 3 dots here, copy all actions from here, and then paste it down here. So now you have the next wait. And this one is, say wait one day, maybe you want to do wait 2 days. We'll keep it at wait one day, but this one, actually let's not do this text right now. Let's send out an email the next day. I'm gonna delete that, and I'm gonna send an email. Send email, we're gonna call it email 2. And this time, instead of it being day 2, we're waiting a day, this is gonna be day 3. Subject, I'm gonna put something similar of, don't forget to take next steps. Now here's a basic message you can put in for the body of the email. Hey, contact first name. Don't forget that your 30 leads in 30 days offer is still waiting for you. The next step is to book a time for your discovery call by 1, clicking here to book online, clickable link. 2, replying to this email. Or 3, text or call us at, and the phone number. Please let us know if you have any questions. In the meantime, we look forward to seeing you. Best, user first name, company name. Save action, and now you have that email. Now once you have this basic structure here. Now we'll click the 3 dots. We'll click copy all actions from here, come down, and now we have all this here. So it's a lot easier to just come in and say, maybe now we want to change this to wait 2 days, save SMS, change out your SMS, make this 3. This would be, say, day 3, 4, 5. Change up your messaging, and then wait, and then just continue on and make those edits. Now, one thing I forgot to add in, I'm going to come back here, is this wait one day. Key thing here that you want to add in is not just waiting a day, but you also want to add in the advanced window. And the reason I do that is if I didn't have this advanced window on, if they opted in at, say, 2 a.m., right? Now when they come down here, waiting a day, now it's going to send them out a message 2 a.m. the next day. You probably don't want to do that. Me personally, I'm fine with sending them a text at, say, 2 in the morning when they first opt in, because they just opted in, meaning they're awake. So I can send them a text right there. I'm fine with that. Don't think there's an issue with it. But anything after that, I want it to be during working hours or during daylight hours. So that's why here I'm going to put the advanced window. And I'm going to say Monday through Friday between, for example, 9 to 5. So what this is going to do is when they get to this step, if it's, say, 2 a.m., we're going to wait here 2 a.m., but then it's going to hit 2 a.m. that next day, but then it's going to wait till 9 a.m. and if it falls on one of these days. So then the SMS will go out during the day when they're most likely awake. If they work night shift, well, can't really control that. That's probably going to be far and few between. But anyways, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, select whatever days you want, and then click save. I also like to sometimes in my step here, put in window. then I know for the future. But now this puts them on, say, a regular schedule of daylight hours. And as long as you have wait a day, or as long as you make your timing, such as, say, wait 22 hours, wait 25 hours, something that will keep them within that day, you don't have to turn the advanced window on for everyone. Although it could be good just to play it safe to make sure you don't send messages or anything at night when they're sleeping. As long as you have it on this one, main thing to do. All right, so now you have all of that, and just continue on for however long you want to go so that they are getting nurtured, getting them to book a call with a goal of booking a call. That's what the goal of this should be, or whatever your outcome is of your nurture sequence. Okay, so I'm not going to go over creating all those emails and texts, of course, because that's going to be tailored to your business. But this is the good structure. Now let me go over a couple more things. What we're going to do for this is, let me save it first, but let me go to settings. I'm going to cover these settings. Allow reentry. This is the settings for the workflow. Allow reentry. Do you want people to, if they fill out the form again, do you want them to be entered this workflow again? That's going to be based on your preference, up to you. If you have this off, once they've entered, they won't be able to go through it again. If they fill out the form again, nothing's going to happen. They're not going to get entered. They're not going to get the messages. So that's really up to you if you want to do that or not. I usually keep it on because if somebody does it again, they're probably interested in your offer. Now, stop on response. This one I definitely turn on for an opt-in workflow. And the reason why is because if they reply back to a message, I don't want them to continue getting all these automated messages because they probably have a question. So then I want to remove them from the rest of the workflow, and now I'm manually responding to them. So that's how I usually set up the opt-in workflow. Now the stop on response, as a side note, I turn this off for the appointment reminders, because when they book an appointment, if they reply back to, say, the day before message, say the day before message sends out just a reminder, your call is coming up tomorrow, and then they reply back, great, thanks. Well, you wouldn't want them to be removed from the workflow because you still want them to get those messages. So you want to have stop and response off so that if they respond, they're still going to get those messages. But in this case, this is a different type. The new lead, the opt-in, the nurture, you want to have it on. All right, and down here, some other settings. I always turn the markers red on as well, because in the conversations section, I don't need these automated messages that go out to be in the unread column. No, I want them to be in the red column because they're automatically went out, not an inbound message. There's special use cases that people use this for. Now, sender details. This is the default name and email that the emails within this workflow will come from. So if you notice, if I go back to the builder and we go down to, say, this email here, I left the from name and email blank. You can go into every single email and put the from name and email, but that's just going to take a lot to fill out this for everyone. So that's why in the workflow settings, the from name or from email, you can type it in here. You can either just type in from name, whatever name you want to type, or you can do, say, a custom value. I like to set up a custom value, and I call it from name, from email. Pretty straightforward, right? So then I don't have to come in the workflow to fill this out. I just go to custom values and I can change it there. Now, same thing with the from email. I put a custom value in there as well. Custom values, from email. And now that is set up. And if I go back to the builder now, so we have that default setting. But here's an example of what you can also do. In the email here, this first one, maybe you want this going out to actually look like it's an automated message. So then here you might want to put something different. If you fill in this will override whatever the default settings are. The default settings is if these are blank. And this is great for maybe the first message you want to say, for example, now I wouldn't type this in, but I'm just showing you an automated message. And then from email, maybe you want it to come from info@yourcompany.com. But then maybe all the other ones want to come from the specific user, so then it looks like it's more personal, sent out. That's where you can use these as a special use case, because then this will override the default settings. So once we're done setting all this up, I'll do a quick recap. We have whatever trigger you're going to be having them added to this workflow from, either a form submitted, survey submitted, Facebook lead form, TikTok, LinkedIn, however else you want to add them here. Set that trigger up. Next is assign to a user. Then I add a tag, and then I create the opportunity. First three, usually always do. Next is I send notification to the assigned user or whoever you want so that they get notified of the new lead. Then after that, I send the text and I send the email out to the lead as confirmation so that they know they fill out the form correctly and they received confirmation. Then I wait 5 minutes and then I set up my if else working hours. Is the working hours Monday through Friday, 9 to 5? If it is, then I'm going to have the bridge call happen. My phone will ring. Great, I got a new lead. Hey, you got a new lead. Press any key. Press any key. Calls out. Answer. Great. How you doing today? Thanks for opting into my offer. And if that doesn't happen, then the voicemail. Also, another key thing is we go to settings, this stop on response. If the contact answers the bridge call, that's considered a response and they'll get removed from the rest of the workflow. So then the voicemail will not go out. But if they don't answer or you don't answer, then it goes to the voicemail step and sends out a voicemail job to them. If it's off hours, they're going to go down here. I'm going to skip the bridge call and voicemail, just go down to the wait 1 day. And now we're getting into nurturing them. Waiting a day, sending out a text or an email or both. Waiting a day, sending out an email or text or both, whatever you want to do. Another day, and then just continue this on. You can continue this on for a full year if you want. Nurture them, getting them to book a call, whatever the goal is. So we're going to turn this on, publish it, and we're going to save. Now this is ready to go. Back to workflows. Now I'm going to create one more workflow. This is the lead responded to nurture sequence. Really simple one. Create workflow, start from scratch. This is now getting back to that hot lead stage. So we'll just say, we'll call this hot lead. The way this is going to work is the trigger is going to be, this one is going to be customer replied. Customer replied. Now we want to make sure we add some filters in here. Filter we're going to add in is replied to workflow, meaning they're already in another workflow. Which workflow is it? We're going to set the one we just set up, the new lead. So they're in that workflow. And now you can also add in many other things. If they have a certain phrase in their message, exact phrase in their message, 10 type, you could do reply channel. This would be, say, if they reply back to an email or to an SMS. But in this case, I just want it to be any type of response back. So I'm going to remove that filter. So only if they're in that workflow, again, we can name it, click save trigger. And then now what I'm going to add in is, I like to do this as well, add a tag. And this time I'm going to add the hot lead tag. Save action. So add a tag. So then the tag is hot lead. And the next one is opportunity. Again, it's going to be the same one as before, create/update opportunity. But this time it's going to be updating the opportunity because there's already an opportunity in there. Update opportunity. And I'll put in hot lead. And now we're going to select pipeline and we're going to select the stage. And then we'll click save. And we'll go back to settings. This one, allow reentry as well. This doesn't matter because there's no messages going out. And for this, publish and save. That's all you got to do for this one. That's very simple. That's just, if they reply, we'll tag them and we'll move their opportunity over to the hot lead stage. Back to workflows. And now you have your 2 workflows set up, new lead, hot lead. The way I like numbering them, which I didn't do for this example, but I put in a number of them. So for example, 1 to go with that folder, A, first one, and then B, so 1 folder, and then B. That's how these would be labeled. I didn't label these for now, they're just quick, but just to show you, this is how I label my workflows. Let me back here and just show you a little bit more detail on that. For example, the bookings 2, so I have 2, A1, like main calendars or personal calendars, point 1, point 2, and then the replied, canceled no-show. So then I can see this is kind of the order that they'll go in. That's how I name and structure my workflows and my folders to make it more easier to understand what's going on. I've seen plenty of workflows out there that are just all a mess and there's no structure or anything. And you're trying to figure out no folders, like what's going on. All right, so that concludes this video. What I covered was, first off, creating a pipeline. You're gonna need that. And then creating a simple workflow, the opt-in sequence, with the main things that I always add in, such as assigning it to a user, adding a tag, creating opportunity, sending a notification to myself or to the assigned user, and then sending the initial message to the contact, usually an email and a text. And then I wait a day, then I continue on with the nurture sequence, message, SMS, email, wait a day, wait however long, and then just continue on nurturing them from there. And then I also created the hot leads workflow, which moves them over to the hot lead stage if they reply back to that main workflow. If you have any questions, then feel free to leave them down in the comments. Hope you learned something. And with that being said, I will see you on my next video.